Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage Hand Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobolds or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been... Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. You have agreed to meet the two Archons, the two Toreador Archons who've reached out to you. One, Kirsten Bellamy, and one... Well, you're not quite sure what the name of the other one is.
Rick's never been one, tightly adhering to formality. I'm just making sure that Blush of Life will cover up anything. I think we're going to do some great things here, you and I.
The Colonel just, lowers his spectacles just a little to stare daggers at you. Do you know the kindred who goes by the name Arthur Porter?
Brief alliance with his coterie. Well...
Since you mentioned coterie... Hey, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to Montreal by Night. I am Simon at Wandering DM. You see him pronouns, and I shall be the storyteller for tonight. I have with me a cast of incredible players. You know them, but I will force them to reintroduce themselves as I do every week. And I will begin with, I will ask also when you introduce yourself, please clearly show your face to the camera in various angles. It's a new rule on the channel, right? So I think, Trooper, you're having a bit of an issue. In fact, I'm not going to start with you tonight. I'll start with Prax. Hi.
Oh, hey, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Meophoria as you see me around here on Twitch, Prax the Bard over on Hive and Instagram, and possibly soon other places. I get to play Florica Flory Winters. Both of us use she, her pronouns, and hashtag not the Ravnos' fault. Hashtag I'm just here to clean up your shit. Hashtag I'm waiting to see this makeup job.
Up next, because Trooper is still fixing his tech issues with his webcam. So Arthur, sorry,
my webcam's fine.
Oh,
it's great. I'm totally fine, but I still feel like it should be already.
Yes.
Yep, everything's great. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the socials, Pope World Build on the Twitch. Happy to be back here with Montreal by Night crew playing Arthur Porter. Both of us use he, him pronouns. I too am intrigued about this makeup, but I also know that if I were a betting man, my limit's $20, and I don't think I'll put a 20 down whether or not we get to see this makeup tonight.
Never know.
Well, now's your chance. Hey, Trooper, how's it going?
It is going very well. I just want to make sure I have that going on. Let me make sure. Right. Yeah. Transition. Cool. Hey, everyone. How are you? I am Trooper SJP, and it is wonderful to see you all. I'm very happy to be here with some of the coolest folks to play RPGs with, all of whom are just awesome and just, really people that are exciting. I am playing Dixon, a vampire. We'll call him a Bruja for now, at least. That's what people in the town call him. And he is Humanity 3 and, has laid low a little bit to heal up from some terrible damage and is now laying low until he can get some data that he's looking for, and there are 3 Archons out looking for him for fun times, and he does not want to have fun times with the Archons. I have seen the special interviews that the Toreador Archon did with some of our other vampires in town, and I didn't like them. They're rude and a little bit arrogant, and also rude, and also clearly insecure about the fact that other people have talent. They're just whatever with them. And then also there's another Archon that just trying to murder my character, so just trying to lay low a little bit until things are a little bit better. And so that's me, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. I know we have got missing person, murdered person. We've got some of my good vampire friends who are going through a little bit of a tough time at the moment. So, I don't have popcorn, but I do have Pez and also sweet tea. So I'm looking forward to it, very, very much. That's me.
Speaking of having tough time, I think we're more than overdue to start with Flory tonight.
Oh, really? Why?
because last week everything went to shit on my end, so I couldn't do it. So I've been sitting on this for a week.
It was an act of God. It was not their fault.
I don't know if bureaucratic incompetence. I don't know what exactly, but it's been a hell of a week power-wise. But that said, let's go back to your car. Driving away from the Trudeau Airport. In your vehicle is your sire.
The name of the airport is Trudeau, after the asshole who's currently prime minister. I mean, like, that seems like...
No. After the father, who was worse. And, you know, is one of the only prime minister in the country who enacted martial law. He came from here, and he hated his people. And, yeah. Something, strike breaking, something, McCarthyism as well. Yeah.
You know.
The sun, as far as I'm concerned, is a whole lot better.
Look, I understand. It's why there's this bridge that's in New York that some people call the Mario Cuomo Bridge, but the rest of us just call it the Tappan Zee because that's what it's been for 60 years. And we recognize the fact that Mario Cuomo is as the father was in the inherently best Cuomo, who actually did some halfway decent things for the state, but none of the others were. Good.
So one of the things that you also need to know, Prax, about this airport is that the full name of it is Pierre-Elliott Trudeau, the acronym of which, PET, is also the French word for fart. An aptly named old fart.
I've been worse places.
So, you're leaving the Trudeau Airport with Casimir in the passenger seat of the car. You haven't seen him in a while. He looks, well, being a vampire, exactly like how you last saw him. Except that tonight he probably didn't change from leaving Iraq to come here. So he's still wearing these sort of like khaki pants with like a lot of pockets on it, almost like what is it, like tactical pants? What'd you call them?
Cargo pants?
Cargo
like
pants.
Cargo pants, yeah, but not flared at the bottom. He has a black tank top with just a little sort of like khaki shirt over it, kind of fitting the color of his pants. He looks like he was probably on a dig site, either infiltrating or overseeing or what have you. By the way, he had no luggage coming here. It's just him. No spare clothes, no go bag, nothing else. And he, after a few moments of silence, driving out of the airport, you see, he passes a hand over the dashboard of your car and says, "I see you are doing well for yourself."
Tata, you look like a gajo.
I have had a lot to, not a whole lot of rest and a whole lot to do.
Are we getting you dinner?
He looks out the window. For those who don't know the trek from the airport to the city, there's like a part of it that goes through nothing. So he just looks at the highway and the absence of, easy prey. He's like, I would like to sample the local flavor. Maybe when we get to a place that's more busy.
Of course. I know some places. Fine dining is at its best.
You have been busy yourself, I take it?
Murder pays. And apparently the city needs a lot of murder. Oh,
Mhm.
she's riding the princeling.
Who is she?
I figure Flory and Casimir have come to a point
So
where they
it's
don't
a-
actually would never actually name Val.
So the moment you say she, it's like a she with a capital S, and he knows.
Yeah, because it would be like the super you don't name the thing that you don't want to draw
Mhm.
your you don't call it by its name so it doesn't draw you don't draw its attention kind of thing. And Flory, because she knew she was going to pick up Casimir, is dressed in a modernist interpretation of a very traditional outfit, still meeting her standards. She is wearing a long, like tiered, quote unquote bohemian skirt with like flounces on it in black. She's wearing a black just t-shirt kind of thing with like 3/4 sleeves, and she actually is wearing underneath the headpiece that she always wears, like the bejeweled headpiece that she always wears. She is wearing a kerchief underneath it over her hair, and she's not wearing any jewelry or makeup tonight. She also hasn't blush of life for various reasons. She's inside the car, it doesn't matter.
He has it on. He looks a lot more living than you do. Well, funny you should say that then. Maybe things are less random than I gave them credit for. But, I would like to hear about you. Before we talk about the graver things.
You need a distraction, Tata. I can give you one.
Yes, I would like to know how my daughter's been faring in this empty town.
If only it was. We have anarchs to the west, werewolves over the river. The towers decided to come visit. 3 different anarchs playing, not anarchs. No, anarchs. Not anarchs. 3
Archons?
different archons, thank you. I was blanking on words. 3 different archons messing around, one of whom is just a glorified bounty hunter without any skill. And apparently a bunch of Nos hiding in the sewer system from an individual who wears a coat of faces. Oh! And the new princeling whom she is probably riding around as a dummy in, is also brought a Tremere who has the bond of a gargoyle. The La Sombra are coming out of the woodwork. There's a house that is literally eating people, and an old one under the roads. How are you?
Same old, same old.
Really?
There are crazed fanatics hiding in every shadows. There's an ancient one beneath the sand, and no one who would remotely want to help is of any help. The Ivory Tower is abandoned in the Middle East. Those that flee there just disappear. We've tried intercepting people, and it's useless. Feels like the moment they even enter airspace for some, they just vanish. It is impossible. I mean, we are masters of illusions and disguise, and this doesn't strike me as an illusion. There is something powerful stirring everywhere in the world. I take it, but see, I'm doing it again. I sound like an old paranoid elder expecting his child to come devour them.
You don't have anything that I want to eat.
Good. But I'm afraid you might have something that someone wants to eat.
Sometimes it's nice to be wanted. Who have I angered lately, Tata?
I don't know.
Oh. Besides
You tell
the Prince
me.
of the City.
By that time, you've reached the edge of downtown. I don't know where you wanted to bring your sire for a bite.
I would probably bring him down to the areas of downtown near Little Italy, but not within Little Italy. It's kind of déclassé to take somebody out to dinner, to take your relatives out to dinner in your friend's haven without, prior discussion about that.
Yeah. Let me just grab my book real quick.
Yeah, but it's also the level of she probably doesn't care about anybody else's territory. She's just being nice to Artie.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's not so much the territory as his dietary restrictions.
Oh, well, there is that.
Boop. Doop, 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 doop. Yes, because he is an elder.
Yeah, but at least he's not a venturer.
Yeah, but how did what? The
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He has blood potency 6. Okay. Yeah. He's your sire. You would know that.
Mm-hmm.
In order to, let's say, be satiated for a night, like 1 point of hunger, right? He almost needs to kill a human. In fact, even then his hunger will still remain pretty high. The best thing for him would be to drink from a vampire. Knowing these things, what do you choose to do?
Oh, she would offer. She would ask what he wants. There would be no point at which she would not offer that. Or if he wants to go remove a couple complications, she knows some names that she would be more than willing to give. If he wants to remove individuals, but if he just wants a snack, you know.
No, right now he would need a snack just in case. I need to keep my wits about me, and well, there are things we need to talk about. I would
went to
rather
dinner
not
earlier.
attract the ire of anyone here just yet. I
Have
did
a safe
enjoy
flight.
the food you've sent me, but I'm not the
Oh,
type
good.
to. I think they didn't want me to bring food and drinks on board.
Oh, the things about not taking your own diet. I worry about these airlines now, not respecting everyone's dietary restrictions. Do you want just a snack then? I know a really good fine place for it. And I think she would literally, as she's driving, just offer her wrist out as she's driving. Because I don't think this is the first time that they've done this.
No, you would have probably been forced to do that at the beginning.
Yeah, but it's also like,
But given the circumstances, he is going to take your wrist and put it back on the wheel.
I mean, she is technically driving a
That too.
Corvette.
But also, you know, other child. He says, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I haven't had someone who's got so much that they don't know what to do. I need some sort of, I don't know, I'm in the mood for some juicy, maybe a lazy manager or a director or something like that. Most of the people that are like that where we are at the moment are kind of out of reach. They're for the most part called royalty. A bit unaffordable.
Well, the one that most obviously comes to mind is being ridden around by her, so I think that's an out the door.
No, I meant mortal. I just want the
Oh.
taste of I crave what would be the equivalent of a very fancy hamburger made by a guy with a long beard and a bunch of tattoos.
I don't know just the person.
So who'd you bring him to? Or where?
So she has been following and paying attention to the career of Lieutenant Emmanuel Munoz.
Yes.
She knows that he's been a threat, that he is a problem, and he's an asshole who would probably meet all of Casimir's requirements. A petty king in
Yeah.
a small pond who thinks he knows everything there is to know about vampires.
You would know that he normally hangs out at a bar called a Bullet Time, but this is outside of Montreal. This is on the South Shore.
Okay. She'll put a pin in that and bring that up later. Well, I mean, how far outside of Montreal from where we are?
Oh, so once you leave the island, it's like a 10-minute drive, not even.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Then I think she.
you are, quote unquote, in the shadow of the bridge.
Okay, so I think she would have. I think the conversation when he mentions that, rather than go all the way into downtown from the airport, she would have redirected at that point.
Oh, what's cool is that the that very bridge, you need to go through downtown to take it anyway. It's the one
Okay,
I take
so-
on my commute.
Yes, okay. So she would do that. It's like want to remove a problem at the same time.
I'm not going to kill.
Oh.
Not if I can help it.
He is a masquerade breach who likes to sick unintentional younglings with video cameras after possible vampires. He also thinks he's protected because he's a member of the police force.
Is he one of us?
No. He's a policeman who's been disavowed for falsifying evidence, but he has knows just enough to blackmail himself back onto the force.
Hmm. I'm sure we can do something.
I removed his nephew. They were videotaping the inappropriate individuals. That's how we got Hetty on camera. His body cam, by the way.
We'll cut to when you get to the bar.
Yep.
The bullet time is one of those, kind of not a bar in a strip mall, but it's by the side of the street with like a very, very cute but narrow terrace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like flanked on both sides by a lot of other businesses and stores that are all closed tonight. So it looks less like a dive bar or like what you could probably think of, when you think of a cup bar in pop culture, and more like a sort of almost like gentrified type of place. The look is modern industrial inside, and you hear the heavy rock music playing. Not metal, rock, because this is a place mostly for dads.
There's no shame in listening to good 80s or 70s hard rock.
Absolutely
Even
not.
prog rock is good.
I love my Journey.
Journey is not prog rock, but yes.
No, but Journey is rock. Dad rock.
But I mean, we are in Canada. How much Rush is playing?
Not a whole lot. And here you would probably have a singer, mostly known as Eric Lapointe, who is your smoky, gruff voice singer who sings about them beers and them women and the Harley Davidsons. He's good, actually. I do not let my description taint your view of him. Really good musician. But that said, there's him and there's another guy. I don't remember his name, but he's got like one leg and one arm. Very good too. The two of them are basically the like 90s, 2000, I'd say like dad rock icons here.
Yep.
All
just
that
looked
to
them up.
say, do you leave the car or do you wait for Casimir? I mean, if you do not leave, Casimir will ask for a description. He knows how to hunt, so he just needs to know who he's looking for.
Yeah, she probably has a picture on her phone, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's under, like, she probably has a picture on her phone because he's probably in like this folder of future problems to be removed issue, like put a pin in that, future problems to be removed here. And you should just, and because he's an active cop, right, she can pull his headshot or something. So
Actually, he's no longer active.
well, yeah, he was, so I can pull his headshot. She doesn't care if he lost his job. She's sicking her sire on him for a reason.
He Casimir takes a brief look at the phone, nods and says, "I'll be right back."
Have fun.
Trooper, to answer your question very quickly, because it was a very popular name in the late 70s, I think. Casimir goes in the bar. You wait 5, 10, 15 minutes, but then we're going to cut to someone else for a moment. Hello, Artie. Someone else who's received bad news recently.
Yeah. A bounty has been placed.
One night ago, I believe.
Yeah. With a 48-hour clock on.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it's been halfway, but it is nearing the halfway point. The 24-hour mark. And so far, I need to check my notes.
I just wanted to confirm. The last we knew that the lieutenant had been was back on the force on some kind of special unit, right? Like
he had been kicked off. He was trying to get his way back in blackmailing, but he was part of a special task force.
He used to be part of a special task force, the MPD Task Force Division. He lost his job, and from what you've inferred so far, he's been rehired, but as the a more supernatural task force. Like the task force that he was part of was just SWAT, was just regular SWAT.
Right.
It's just we don't have like SWAT as a word. We call it the Special Task Force Division, the STF.
But my memory was that he was now in some kind of basically some sort of quasi Second Inquisition adjacent or related sort of task force.
Yeah, which is why. Well, those are the rumors.
Those are the rumors.
But this is why
this information that we have new.
What new?
That he's no longer has a job. Is that new?
No. That was from a while ago. It's
okay.
Publicly, as far as humans are concerned, he lost his job. That's it. And there's probably a bogus reason why the public can't know. But as far as you as vampires know, or at least what you've managed to hear, rumor-wise,
right?
Since that happened, Ralphie, my good old pal Ralphie, get over here. Yes. It's been 24 hours. And there is a knock at your door.
Check the cameras.
It's a gentleman with slick back hair, prominent sideburns, leather jacket.
Sounds like an anarch. Does it smell like an anarch too?
Maybe a bit too old school. Let me rephrase that with leather jacket. 19th century leather jacket.
Oh.
Great. Let's go say hi. Have the shotgun that's by the door within the hand's reach. Hello, what can I do for you?
Porter. Name's Nathaniel Simmons.
Ah, the trespasser.
I heard you're looking for someone.
Yes, alive.
I also do alive. I am looking for someone. Maybe we can help each other.
I have a feeling I know which someone you're looking after, and that's not my business.
No, but if I find you your little puppet, maybe you can make it your business. No?
Keep having the same discussion over and over. It's starting to give me a crick in my neck. I am no longer Sabat, and I left because I was tired of being fucking evil, and I haven't joined the tower because I'm tired of being fucking evil. So, Mr. Simmons, I recognize your expertise, but I also recognize that you do not play by the rules.
But if the rules are evil, why do you play by them?
Because in order to change the rules, you have to abide by them.
Changing the machine from within doesn't work, Mr. Porter.
No, it's the same two groups that keep telling me that. And it's the same two groups that rebelled so many years ago. It's like they just don't appreciate their own history.
I take that as a no, then.
No, thank you. I appreciate your expertise, but I also appreciate that if I'm going to live in a city that says that it's going to align itself with the tower, abide by the tower's rules and traditions, ones which you have violated.
As far as I'm concerned, and he looks around the block, this place ain't under Camarilla yet.
You should go and tell the prince that. There's a wonderful Elysium happening on Halloween. I'm certain he would be glad to host you.
Oh, I know all about the Halloween meetup. Didn't you get the invitation? I'm allowed a +1. Do you want it?
Nah, I think I'm skipping. Because I also know what's got that prince wrapped around their finger. Though, if you do see her with your vision, give her a wave for me, will you?
He looks a little puzzled. But then replies, and if you see your protege...
He's not my protege. Hell, he barely wants anything to do with me.
Then why do you protect them?
Because it's the right thing to do.
The right thing to do is to make sure the Inquisition doesn't bear down on us again. And from what I've been told, and from what I've seen, he's the reason why there might be a second Night of Ashes over here.
No. He's sloppy. I'll give him that. And I'll give you that. But if there's going to be any reason that there's going to be a second Inquisition, it's going to be that prince. You really should go to the event and take a good, hard look at everyone that's there. You could probably make yourself quite the prophet.
I wasn't
Maybe
thinking...
even get in good graces. Especially if Villion sent somebody who's compromised.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but I figure you've talked it all out with Kristen.
Talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, but I also know that I'm not the only Archons here.
Yeah. The two that seem to be doing the thing that I was expecting them to do, try and find every single answer that points at me, before they start working on actually protecting the tower. Because the Toreador are, well, let's just face it, slow. But they're thorough. They don't like being embarrassed. You're quick.
Yeah, I
But
get the
quick-
job done. They don't. They love to dance with bureaucracy and red tape.
Yeah, but if I'm going to get what I need gone, I need it to be all above board.
We'll see
You
about
sure
that.
you still want to serve the tower? I know you got the power, but you remind me of somebody that lives on the west side. He'd love to have you.
Do you want to make a roll for me, please?
Certainly.
As I get my reference sheet out. There we go. Sorry. Give me a sec. I will tell you what it is. Because of course. Boom. Can you make wits and insight? No, let's go with intelligence insight, actually. Intel and insight. And
Probably
I'm
not.
looking at difficulty 3.
Okay. Probably not making this one. Nope.
Do you want to use a reroll or anything?
With that
Just
die pool,
asking.
nah.
Yeah.
This is not my strong suit.
He strikes you as someone with an ulterior motive.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah, but there's something in what you said in the last, let's say, 5 minutes of your conversation that sort of maybe he, the way he answered, or the pace of his voice, like that changed a bit. Like you hit something that you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's, if you compare him to the other Archons, there's still something odd about this fellow.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
can't.
I can see that something's hit home. Let me just ask you a question as somebody who's been around the block a number of times. You ever been to Italy for a while? Say within the last century and a half?
No, I'm what you would call a red-blooded American by now. Well, I mean, maybe some of the blood in me has been to Italy recently, I don't know.
That's fair. But a Freddy, she hasn't worked her way up enough yet. High bounty is what I keep replying to. And if you know about the R2 Archons, you know that what I sent. Yeah. I left the Sabbat because I was tired of being fucking evil. Someone who is not tired of being fucking evil, and this Sabbat through and through is my sire. She's here. And while I'd probably do a number of things except for betraying folks, because that's, again, that's old me, not me. I am certain there's some folks out there that would love to have her fangs or her head. So By all means, hunt away. Also, if you're worried about the Inquisition, the local authorities have been doing a bang-up job letting there be a bunch of whites under the city. There's also somebody wearing a coat of faces downstairs.
He looks at you with a smirk. He says, you know, you'd make a good prince. And he leaves, chuckling to himself.
Says Prince. It says just part of the board. And closes the door.
It takes a few more minutes. You've walked back to whichever room you were in before Simmons came by. You hear another knock at the door.
Okay, who the fuck is it this time?
This time, it's an anarch. It is a young woman with light blue hair, a motorcycle jacket with a lot of pins on it, to the point where you might consider this armor.
Yeah, I opened the door. Didn't catch your name, but you look like a mom type.
Is it mom or mob?
Mom. You got a lot of cats to herd.
Kinda. Name's Simone. Yuma told me that you had a problem.
I have many problems. Would you mind narrowing it down?
Yuma said that you lost someone, and well, I think the old man feels like he owes you something. I don't know. Maybe the Masquerade Breach?
Yeah, maybe.
That whole true witness thing?
Yuma's good, but he doesn't necessarily see the full board. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, he sent me for two things, actually.
Well,
So there's
the other
that.
thing.
What's going on with that other vampire of yours, that kindred that hangs out with you all the time? Rumor has it that he went all berserk downtown and clubbered someone with a parking meter.
Mr. Dixon's business is his own. I don't really see or associate with him much anymore.
I don't... Listen, I'm not here to blame you or hold you responsible for whatever. Yuma just wants to have a word with him.
Well, if you can find him.
So I take it you don't know where he is.
Oh. We've had a bit of a falling out because of my own stupidity. So, I occasionally see him. He's not in a good shape. He's not in a good place. I know because I've been there. And I'm hoping that he pulls back around. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. And that's his choice.
Well, if you see him before we do, just... No stake, no fangs. He just wants to talk.
I'll pass along the message if I do see him. He's about as tech savvy as most of the folks in the tower, which tells you a lot.
Oh, wait. And she gets her phone out. It's an old dinged up iPhone. The screen is broken to all hell. And she... It's not that she taps it with her finger to, like, move through apps and stuff. It's that she rams her finger in like this thing was, I don't know, made of, like, a brick or something. And you just go tap, 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 tap. Oh, yeah, that's true. Is Flory here?
Ms. Winters has other business in town.
Okay. The boss wants to talk to her too.
Give her a call. She usually picks up.
He just listen, I just pass message along as it is. But apparently I'm the one who's going to help you find that little, I don't know, blood bag of yours. I don't know, what is it that you missed? That you misplaced?
I misplaced a friend.
Oh, my bad. Thought it was an asset, not. Thought it was weird how much you offered for an asset, but you know, who knows?
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with y'all up here in Montreal, but it seems like you guys have decided that you're going to all lick your own taints as opposed to try and actually be part of this society.
We have enough to deal with it as it is.
Yeah, but the thing is that it seems like both sides of the aisle don't fucking understand is that the kind are vital to our existence. And that to treat them as cattle is to invite one's own destruction. The Night of Ashes wasn't that fucking long ago.
We don't. Well, no, we tend to treat them like cattle. Look, I have a couple friends, but I don't have a whole lot. People tend to tell me that I'm, what is it? Abrasive and a bitch.
You're a mom.
You keep saying that, and I don't know if it's supposed to be an insult or not.
It is a compliment and an insult.
I guess. Look. Do you need help?
I will need help if the mortals don't solve this problem by themselves in 24 hours.
Okay, so they have a head start, and we... What, just go in when the time is... Oh,
Pretty much.
alright.
Though the thing is, I'm expecting that if the mortals don't handle this, he's dead. In which case the bounty, which I will happily pay, will be 200 million for those responsible. I want them alive. I'm going to let my old me indulge.
That's a whole lot of scratch. Well,
Yeah.
I'll let the mortals have their extra day.
You take care of yourself, Simone. Oh, by the by, have your folks ready for something unpleasant happening on Halloween, because the tower is going to have a shindig, and
Yeah, I know.
anybody who has a lick of sense knows that when the can has a shindig on Halloween, something terrible happens.
Oh, we're gonna have our own.
Oh, please don't.
It's gonna be a lot more fun.
So it's going to be
Hey.
a Netflix and chill night for me. Got it.
Well, if that's what you want. Hey,
I
look.
know what's out there, and I know that it's going to get nasty. Besides, you should have probably, since you are the mom, let Yuma know that there is a white problem that's creeping up from down below that the tower is the least equipped to handle.
Why don't you tell him yourself, Mr. Doom
What?
and Gloom?
Because you already declared yourself the messenger, now didn't you? Also, there's a fellow that is wearing a coat of faces downstairs. Might be one of my kind, but still fucking evil. So when folks start disappearing, you might need to go downstairs.
You know, I wasn't here during the Sabbat years, but from what Yuma's been putting it, downstairs was kind of off limit for anyone.
Yeah, well, that's because that's where they kept all the fun stuff. He is a treasure trove of evil and trinkets down there. And the more people poke at it, the more things come up. But things are going to come up either way. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But right now, a white is something that we can ill afford. Especially if they start creeping toward your side of the park, because that is a great canned excuse for an invasion.
I'll pass the message along.
Thank you. I hope you and yours have a relatively quiet and pleasant October.
Good night, Arthur.
Good night, Simone.
And she leaves, and we're going to jump just briefly to Mr. Dixon.
Oh, I'm not muted. Oh,
I believe, Mr.
Yes.
Dixon, that this is a new night. No, we're still on the 25th, right? And you had made your roll
We are.
for the 25th.
yes.
Yes, that is.
I'm in my
true.
haven with my friend.
I will have to reply. No, I can't. You're not leaving your haven tonight.
No,
Is
I
that
don't
it?
have any reason to.
Okay.
I've already been out. I dropped, I already dropped
You
off
dropped
messages and-
everything, but you have yet to go and check all of your drop-off points.
Yeah, because I put everything out there today, so I won't have anything to do for it until like.
Cool.
I'm just chatting with my friend.
Then, what do you chat about with your friend? Just out of curiosity.
Well, in different circumstances, I would probably be sitting on a chair whittling a new steak while chatting with my friend. But for various reasons, I am not sitting on a chair whittling a new steak, chatting with my friend. I'm just in my haven, chatting with my new friend. In my mind, not out loud.
Oh, okay.
For various reasons. I'm just. So, buddy, wonder what you're thinking about. Only a couple of days before the Elysium. Great if I could get eyes on the prince before then, but I don't know if I'll be able to put out words to Polly. She sees something, she'll tell me. I'm gonna have to talk to Alex, but I don't think I want to talk to him yet. The request I have might get out to other people, and I don't want it to get out what I'm looking for until after I get eyes on the prince. If Alex tells people what I'm looking for, like the Camarilla or Artie tells everybody everything, then I may not be able to get a chance to look at this. But there are people I need to ask questions of, to find out things. What's your name, do you think? What did they call you before this happened to you?
The
lot of people to
white
see,
doesn't
but-
reply, but can you still hear me? Are we still live? Sorry.
Yeah,
Trooper.
I can hear you.
Okay,
No, I
'cause
can hear
my
you.
okay, my computer froze for a moment, and I couldn't do or see anything. Cool. Keep going. My bad. Keep going.
Oh yeah. No. I see you. We seem live to me. Yes. So I say, I wonder what they called you, what your name was, your family was, before whatever happened to you. All of this, I suspect it's living like the kindred do here. It's unnatural, healthy. Well, been a couple of days since Artie Flory messaged me, but Artie hasn't really needed me much for the last couple of months. I'm not surprised. Almost healed now. Face. I need a sniper rifle. And I need those bullets I heard about. The ones that set you on fire from the inside. Dragon something, bullets maybe. Bet I could ask. I bet Alex could get those. That's what I need. I don't have the money. Got some cash off of a couple of people. With more feedings, maybe I can get enough cash for that. Wonder how much that sort of thing costs. I also don't have a bicycle anymore. It's long gone. When you came to attack me, friend. Well, I suppose it's just walking for me now. I have to save whatever I have to get that sniper rifle. Really afford another bicycle. Well, I wonder. I'd like to see the prince before the Elysium, but I imagine really busy with all of his preparations. I might just have to wait till then before I can I'm not best equipped to do this sort of thing, but my coterie mates aren't doing this. So it's on me now. I suppose it always has been on me, and I just have been running away from that responsibility. But I'm not running away from that responsibility anymore. Lori likes to say that all she does is clean up after me. Well, if it wasn't my fault before, it'll all be my fault now. Whatever
Dixon,
happens from this day forward is my fault. Yes.
when you say that it is your fault,
Hmm.
the white's
In my
left eye opens.
I sort of move up closer to it. In my mind, of course, not out loud. Hey, buddy. You all right?
Is there any light in your haven?
No.
Do you have heightened senses? I don't think you do, right?
No. I do, actually. I do.
Is
That
it
comes from my
on?
ancestors.
Yeah, is it on? Because otherwise you see fuck all. I mean, I just
Yeah.
said that the eye
yeah.
opened, but you wouldn't have even seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So.
I do not think that is a rouse check. Is that correct? Let me double check.
No, it's free. It's free.
In which case, yes, it would be on because I'm a little bit paranoid about people, you know. Actually, no, I do not have heightened senses. I have sense the unseen.
Oh,
Pardon
yeah, no, that same thing, but well, free but not heightened senses. So you
Yep.
do not see anything in the dark. So my
Yeah.
bad.
No, I don't have. I don't have electricity in my haven.
Let's say
My
you
haven.
probably well, I mean, as sunken as its eyes are. Yeah, I guess even in the dark, you know, by the time your eyes get acclimated, you can't see the
Mhm.
eye, but you did see the eyelid just roll back and the eye open.
Mm. Hey, buddy. And of course, all of this is not said out loud.
No, I know
It's
that's the
just
thing
that-
is you were just
Yeah, yeah.
thinking while staring at it, and at some point it
Yeah.
just
Are you all right there, buddy? Hey, listen. I'm gonna help you. I want you to know that. My job protect places. I'll protect you. Figure out how to help you. Don't worry. You can call me Dixon. I don't know your name yet, but I'll find out what you're called. You and me, we're friends. Okay? And I just sort of like pat the shoulder of the white to reassure it that it's not alone and that it's safe. Oh, don't worry. Nobody will come find you here. Nobody knows where this place is. You'll be safe. And if this place gets compromised, we'll just find a new place. Don't worry. But, just give my buddy, the staked white, another sort of, just like a squeeze on the shoulder to reassure it. As I sort of relax sort of in my haven, pondering sniper rifles and incendiary rounds and getting eyes on the prince. Hopefully before Elysium, but maybe not.
And on that, we're going to take a short break. Well, short. We're going to go watch Rick's second part of his interview. And when we come back to a bar outside of Longueuil after feeding. So everyone grab yourselves a snack if you want to. This is, I think it's about 20 minutes long, so have fun. It's very informative. We'll leave it at that. And we'll see you right after the break. That very moment, could you make a wits plus awareness roll?
Certainly.
Oh, by the way, because it's been, several days, you can lower your hunger back to 1 if you had any willpower that you had lost or health or whatever. That all disappears.
Oh. Sweet.
So wits and awareness.
And here's my awareness. Adding my wits. Thank God, because my
difficulty
awareness is
3,
not that
by
great.
the way.
Difficulty 3? And that's the modifier, correct?
No. It's going to ask you for the difficulty, I think, after.
Okay, so modifier is just 0. Cool.
Yeah, modifier is 0. Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
3 successes out of 3. You notice that for a brief instant, Miss Bellamy seems to go into a trance. It lasts maybe a second and a half. But there's just this glaze that goes over her eyes when she begins to listen. And then she immediately snaps back to reality, looks at the clipboard, then looks at Monet and you in turn. Goes, your child is right.
Well, what can I say? A good eye, a good ear. She's a person of many talents, and you can understand why I just had to embrace someone like that.
Oh, of course, you would not let someone like Monet here perish of old age. That would be a crime.
Yes, well, I just hope that I can properly reward and show gratitude for such beauty, both in vision and, appearance, to be frank.
Noted. And she scribbles something. But to go back to your previous question, Mr. Harris, the reason why we're asking you, because the follow-up question is, I want to hear from you, what do you think them, and what do you think of the city? But I need to know, first and foremost, who do you know here? Who have you had dealings with? You have to understand we need to figure out who's who and the whereabouts of people, especially concerning the very serious allegations at Mr. Porter.
Well, I suppose I would need to know what the allegations are before answering any further questions then. After all, you might try to implicate me for such allegations. And, admittedly, this is Canada and I'm from the United States, but we do have a thing of, a listing of the crimes before any further questioning can take place.
That is Kine law, Mr. Harris. But
and I, unfortunately, am beholden to Kine law when I deal in finances. This is a unfortunate reality of our trade.
I cannot divulge the exact allegations, especially given your lack of participation in the Camarilla. What I can say, though, is that we are here for the entire vampiric community as a whole. We have the unlives of all kindreds. This goes beyond whatever current no man's land is happening in Montreal. Suffice to say, let's summarize Mr. Porter's allegation with apparently the Sabbat would be back in town.
Well, I can only speak for myself in that regard, but then again, the Sword of Cain and I have never really seen eye to eye in either way, so I suppose you would have to take that with a grain of salt. Several grains, in fact.
Quick question out of character for you, Tyler. What is Rick's emotional state when he says that?
He's kind of just, he's curious. He's trying to get like the lay of the land. And he's like, he knows he's talking with Archons, but he's kind of just like trying to gauge their response. Like, maybe I am Sabbat. What would you think about that? And he's kind of just prodding a little bit to, kind of gauge like, where is he gonna fall? Like, which side of this is he gonna fall on? Is he gonna be like, kind of lean more pro Camarilla or anti Camarilla? He's trying to see what he can get out of this still.
All right. We'll get back to that in a few minutes in game. But she asked basically, what do you think of Montreal? What do you think of the island? And she means not the Kine and their culture, but the kindred and their precarious situation.
I thrive when markets are disrupted because disruption means change and opportunity. So, admittedly, my dealings with other kindred have been somewhat limited, but that's a personal preference. But if we are dealing in personal preference, I like it. I'm curious to see what kind of domain will develop out of this. Where will I fit in all this? It's the thrill of the future being uncertain and what you can build out of uncertainty. I admit that I didn't necessarily have this opinion when I came here. I viewed it as more of a temporary situation, but now the city's got good bones. It's been here for centuries. What's a few more centuries?
An agent of chaos, then.
It's hard to create chaos when there's already so much chaos present. But if you want to create order, there has to be something disorderly to try and right back into place.
I see. Now, Mr. Harris. That's Simon talking, not Kristen. Can you make a composure and insight check for me?
For sure.
With a difficulty.
Oh, joy.
This one's a little harder. That's mostly because of 6 successes. Okay. You realize through all the questions that you've been through already, the tangents that she took, the speed at which she scratches her notes on the clipboard, that it would be in your best interest to lean more Camarilla. They're not looking for... With your successes, I can tell you that they're not looking for a suspect as of this moment. But they are itching to add names to the suspect list. And, she did not enjoy that Monet was such, had a talent and an eye, or an ear in this case, for music. You know about poaching. It's a thing that happens. Sabbat didn't really care more often than not. This was handled through probably bloody duels or like eternal vendettas between one wannabe sire and one sire. But yeah, with 6 in insight, it stung her that you turned Monet into a La Sombra, that it wasn't got to her. Like, you have squandered her potential. Do you realize that? She's not going to let it show, and you don't get the impression that it's going to play against you necessarily. But it is one of many things that if they're, accumulated together, they could decide to set their eyes on you. If only because you're, the newcomer to the sect. And even then, right now, you're saying that you're not. That you have a difference of opinion with Van Buris, but they don't know what that difference of opinion is yet. You haven't told them. But that vagueness could play against you.
Understood.
That's what 6 successes get you. So she continues. She's going to ask you questions about, why have you come to Montreal, and what have you done since you got here. You are free to tell her however much or however little you want. These questions seem to be like a formality, like to establish to dress up basically a profile of like, okay, this person is like a major player, or this person got in so recently that they are not aware of anything else that happened, or like this person was there for so long that technically they could still secretly be Sabbat because they were here back when Strathcona was in power. Those type of things. But eventually she gets on the subject of Monet. And Jill asks you, so since your child has been embraced about 3 decades now, when do you think you would set her free? Or is this something you do not believe in?
Oh, Monet is free to come and go as she pleases. But there was a recent unpleasantness dealing with some supernatural events. I'd rather not get into it in full details. Needless to say, it was traumatic for the both of us. So I'm just ensuring that she has a successful recovery, and then she's free to do whatever she wants, as she's always been. That she wants to be here with me is simply her choice.
The Colonel speaks up. So we have to ask about this. You open the door. What kind of supernatural events are you referring to?
What I'm saying is that perhaps you've been asking the right questions to the wrong people. That Arthur, he might actually have more to hide than perhaps you would suspect.
He looks at Kristen. Kristen is like feverishly writing down everything you said.
And don't get me wrong, I am grateful for their help. I never would have gotten my child back without them, but I couldn't help but feel like that particular circumstance was more of them trying to right a wrong they had created, or perhaps that they were at least aware of. Now, let me tell you, there's nothing that makes you more certain of the idea that perhaps the Sabbat is a bad idea than a bad encounter with the Shamish. If anything, I sort of admire it. It's the contradiction of it all. They helped me, but threatened me, belittled me, ridiculed me. I can't help but admire it because, well, to be frank, I was attempting to do the same thing to them. They were just better at it. But at the end of the day, there are rules, and whether you want to break them or not, they're there for a reason.
Indeed, rules are there for a reason. Speaking of breaking rules, I only have one last question for you, Mr. Harris. Have you ever partaken in Amaranth?
No. My sire's alive and well, wherever he is. And it's a bit detestable. It's the idea that you should be talented enough to take whatever you want without being able to take someone's very essence. There's no satisfaction to be had in it. Does that make sense?
She looks up from her clipboard and says, "Yes, it does." And at that moment, like, you feel like something is trying to peer through you. Like, to read your soul. You can reflexively, if you want to, you can try to block it out. Or you can just let it happen. It does not feel dangerous. Like, you don't feel like you're in danger. Your beast inside is not recoiling at this. But there's this sort of like feeling of invasion of privacy.
I would try to fight back against it then.
Okay, if you want to fight back against it, that would be a subterfuge and composure check. And the difficulty is something that I would give you. Be a difficulty, oh, that's more than 2 actually, that's 4. It's 2.
Okay. Ooh, it's a,
Oh, boy.
it's a messy critical.
Okay. Unless you re-roll that 10 into something lower, that is a missy crit. But you succeed. So not only do you succeed if you leave it as is, it's more that your beast succeeds.
Well, I don't necessarily want to be ruthless here.
And, yeah, let me just check. You would resistance. Yeah, it would probably trigger your compulsion. But I would say even more than that, if you leave it as a messy crit, I would have to ask you to roll to resist frenzy. Because they have had the gall to try to, ignore everything you said and just, extract information from you.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to play with the beast here. I'll try to re-roll that. So that'd be a willpower re-roll?
With 1 willpower, you can re-roll up to 3 dice of your choice, except the red one. So that could be like the 10 and then, 2 of the misses.
Yeah.
It's just 1 point of will for 3 dice.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Just 1.
And it's the little slash, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you know, because the other one is like aggravated, and that normally doesn't come back easily.
Gotcha. Yeah, I will do a willpower reroll then.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess just the. That is one. Yeah, I'll try to reroll up to 3. Why not? Let's try to get out of this. And it's still difficulty 4?
Yeah, that stays the same. I mean, we're not. I'm not gonna check those successes on that reroll because the important part is just what is the result of those dice.
Dang it!
Well, no, that's okay because you've turned your. Well, that would mean that you fail in that instance because you turned the 10 into a normal thing, so it's no longer a messy crit, but it becomes a regular failure. You want to spend another point of will to try to reroll other dice again, like those 2 other.
Yeah.
Because you're always on the verge of maybe.
I know, I'm in too deep. I gotta commit.
All right.
So another 3 dice then?
It's actually just the 2 from your reroll, I believe. Because it's you
Oh, yeah,
choose those 3 dice and it's
yeah.
always those.
Oh, I can reroll my reroll. That's handy. This is not my night.
No, not at all. Do you leave it as a failure?
I'm just gonna keep burning willpower until I get something.
All right.
So just reroll those 2.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
I think you're starting to sweat blood a little, or actually actual sweat because you're on Blush of Life.
True.
Gets a little hot in here, but you feel that like prodding hand that was going to rummage through your brain or something. Just as soon as it came in, as soon as it knocked on the door, you turned it away. Took way more effort than you thought. And it doesn't seem like Miss Bellamy spent any effort at all. She looks completely unaware of what just happened. She says, well, that will resume our question. Thank you very much, Mr. Harris. If we have need of you, we will contact you again, but your interview was quite enlightening.
Well, happy to help. And can I just say I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. I confess this is my first time really dealing with the Camarilla, and it's equally been enlightening. I expected, I guess, a bit more hostility, but you've been quite agreeable. It doesn't fit at all with the preconceptions I've been fed. And, never hurts to find more business partners.
Let's just say to reiterate what I said earlier, we have the betterment of all kindred kind art. And the colonel just pipes up and says, and if you were Sabat, you would have been dead. Yes,
Fair enough.
Colonel. Well, thank you for your time. And
Thank you.
they get up. As they stand up, actually, the old man who was told to wait in the car, Edwards, just shows up at the box with the briefcase, opens it, puts everything back in, closes it. It's like he knew down to the second, like when the interview would be over. And the three of them leave, leaving just you and Monet to enjoy the rest of tonight's concert. And that is scene. And we're back, but muted. Now we're back for real. Hey, bar. Let's go back to the South Shore for a moment. Let's go hang out with our cop friend. And it's been about 15 minutes. And now 20. And Casimir is yet to get out, to come out. And after about a half hour total, you see him not come out of the bar, but walk out from the corner of the block and walk towards the car. He looks a little bit more energized than earlier. You notice also that he has changed his outfit. He's got some jeans that are a little too short for him, and a zipped up. It's not really a jacket, more like a wind jacket, but like a tight one, not like the ones we used to have in the 80s and early 90s that were all like flashy colors. This one's more like of a I go jogging in the rain, and he sits back down in the car and says, "Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers. Your old pal there, he doesn't frequent this place anymore."
That's a shame. I'm sure we'll miss out on his funds.
Well, I asked around. Apparently he vanished, which means probably has something to do with one of us.
Or he actually blackmailed his way onto Hunter's crew.
Well, he had old pals, and I don't know, I already forgot his name. Anyway, went out for a smoke break and back. Sorry it took so long, but I'm a little less peckish now.
I'm not going to judge how long it takes you to dine.
So where can we make sure that no one overhears?
Zalmadi, I still have the RV, Zalmadi's. We can go there. I can also introduce you to Rajul.
I believe you've mentioned him in your letters, but, well, messages.
pays well.
How tight-lipped is he?
He's
And
a
can you-
dragon who gave up the
Okay.
life.
And how persuaded are you that he can be trusted?
As much as any Godzo. Now, he does suffer from one small inconvenience that puts him on the negative list.
What?
He's her creation.
Then not his place.
Fair. We'll go to the RV. I've experienced some interesting investment opportunities. You'll appreciate it.
All right.
The English apparently want to turn all of these beautiful buildings into, well, a bad knockoff of Khrushchev's Russia.
They want to build communist apartment buildings?
Yeah, it's pretty much. They say they look pretty.
Hmm.
I don't judge.
They're
I don't
fighting.
agree with their taste.
So we'll cut to getting to the
Yeah.
RV.
She probably had parked the RV behind the block that she's in arranging the purchase of. So, and the RV has all of the traditional protections that their ethnic group appreciates. So there's that. It doesn't have any actual functioning like magic wards, but
Yeah, but it's you've got the thing to protect you from the evil eye, and
you've got stained glass on the stairs and the blockades, and you've got, salt walls. Exactly. There are not, however, any crucifixes anywhere nearby.
cool. He looks at it. He nods. You know that he appreciates the touch.
But he will take some time to walk around the RV, look under, climb up the little ladder in the back to look at the top of it, really like inspect it, and you figure it's probably not for supernatural thing.
No, I don't think Tata, her sire, has seen the very nice RV that Zalmati has bought her.
He probably heard Zalmati talk about it because they've been together, you know, working, but it's not just appreciating the expensive RV, but like he does it with the mechanical precision of someone who has been used to look out for bugs.
Oh yeah, she's fully prepared for him to inspect the whole thing. Like, and they have not spoken anything but Roma since they got, you know, since he got in the car.
Once he's satisfied, he'll ask if he can, you know, come in.
Yeah, she'll actually invite him in, and no, she wouldn't offer. She wouldn't need to offer because it wouldn't be required for their relationship. But
then he will.
She waits for him. She waits for him to enter, and then closes everything up. And the soundproofing on the inside is real damn good. That's where a lot of the investment went into, the insulation and soundproofing, and the blackout curtains, because those are important. But she also waits for him to choose his seat first, and waits, you know, there's a deference there, and which, if they were walking down the street, would look slightly odd because they only look like they're separated by about maybe 10 years, 15 years at the most in age.
He's going to take a seat. I think you have a table in there, right?
Oh yeah, we have a kitchen with a
Yeah.
We have also a small sitting room with like armchairs, and then there's like a table with a banquette, and then a chair, like stools on the other side of the banquette.
Sorry, taking notes. Okay, so he's going to sit down and motion for you to sit down.
She will sit across from him and do that thing where your physical body language is open and inviting conversation, but not saying anything, waiting for him to talk and speak.
He starts by just saying, Aziz. Thank you, subtitles. A-Z-I-Z. Or A-Z-I-Z. I don't know how it's not even going to spell it. A name. That was his name. I figured you two would meet at some point, but... well, I had things to do. Zalmati had things to do. Aziz had his role to play. You would have liked him. A young, moldable mind.
Anyway. It was assassinated.
One of ours or one of theirs?
Clearly not a mortal. Now, thankfully, even though I trust my child, and he would say my childer, plural, I don't tend to let you run on your own without supervision. In your case, I was there. And even for a time, Jardani to some extent. Him, I couldn't. What Zalmati and I... What we're doing is... takes pretty much all of my attention. And I think... Okay, one thing at a time. I had a ghoul look after him. Ghoul got spared, thankfully, which is why I know it wasn't done by a mortal. Took place at night, the ghoul wasn't there.
You know the first thing I'm going to ask.
I'm not sure. Humor me.
Your ghoul was not there to protect your child.
No, it's not them. I have enough info on who could have done it.
Really?
Ghoul was one of us. They would not have touched Aziz. No, he was found.
Missing. Were they conveniently missing, though?
No, it's just a sleep schedule mishap normally.
Usually our cousins are better than that.
Well, there weren't anybody else around. And that was my mistake. Mind you, I don't know of anyone who would have wanted to hurt me. Not this way, anyway. And see, that's why I'm here. Because, and he fetches in his pocket, gets his wallet out. It's because on Aziz's carcass, there was this. And he puts a dirty, sort of crumpled up, but then flattened, business card. Artie, what do business cards of the Hunter's Green look like?
They are a matte black with red embossing. With the back of the card embossed with the member number for each person who is. That way we can track rewards, etc., etc.
That wasn't Aziz.
Well, somebody wants to stir a pot.
And not just that, but let me just very quickly, because I keep calling them the ghoul, but I don't like that. So I'm just gonna grab a name for them because I only have them as Casimir's ghoul, and I don't like that. So let's just go here and this name. Wow.
Fritz.
No, sure, I got... Look, it's purely random. Purely random.
It's on random.
Simon, the ghoul. I really went on
Simon
behind...
or Simeon?
No.
Simon or Simeon?
I meant... I went on behind the name, and it is literally Simon.
There we go.
Like, with that, not Simeon. That's the name right above on the list. He managed to find that our killer fled on a private plane that they flew themselves, apparently. We don't have any identity, but there's one plane from a small private airport that flew off. Oh, I should specify. I don't think it's related to the area of where we were in. This happened in outside of Ankara. Ankara,
Yes.
Ankara, yeah, in Turkey. You know, not very far away from where I was, but Zalmati and I, we didn't have much time to investigate, and he suggested I come here. Because if the card is an indication of the next target, then I figure you're the next one. I know of a few people that might want me dead, but...
Arthur, do you have eyes on him?
Out of game, do you mean... Mehmet?
Yes. She would. It's the same rules. She wouldn't. They would not.
I just want to
use
make
real-
sure that that's who you
Yeah.
were. Interesting you say that, because it's the first person I looked into. And, apparently last month, Mehmet was in Turkey.
Well, he does like to go home, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has an estate there, but
I still say we should have burnt it down.
he wasn't in it when I checked after Aziz was destroyed. And he's the type of person who would know how to fly a plane, and who would have his own plane. My only thing is... he has a thing for you. Not me.
No.
So why
I
is
will
he?
tell you. There are two things that come to mind, Tata. This, and she'll like tap the card sitting on the table. This is Rajul's club.
That's her child, right?
She's apparently riding the little princeling that Paris sent to take over this city.
Okay.
I told Giordani, he didn't tell you, that's not my fault. She literally like will say it just like that. Like, I am not getting in trouble for not telling you where she was. I did tell Giordani, it's not my fault. He didn't tell you.
Yes. Oh, wait. No, have I been mistaken everything? Zalmati is Greg.
Yes.
Giordani is Casimir's sire.
Yes.
Good. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
we haven't heard from Giordani since
Yeah.
September.
Yeah, that's the point. She had found that out, told Giordani, and then Giordani went missing.
Yeah.
She couldn't get a hold of Casimir.
So yeah, and Casimir has
Doesn't know.
not. So
Didn't
basically,
know.
your message, quote unquote, died with Giordani. So
Yeah,
it
but
never
she-
made it to Casimir.
But it's still a level of like, not my fault. You
No,
can't
no.
get mad at me.
But hello, Raiders. Casimir says, so you're going to have to enlighten me on that. What do you mean
So-
she rides the prince? Please tell me you're just talking literally.
God, I almost wish, although it's slightly nauseating. There's a young princeling Ventru, and by young I mean under 30. Hasn't been dead long enough to even have a grave covered in grass. All of a sudden, he announced an Elysium and invited everyone and everything in the city. I, of course, made my appearance as, why the hell not? I actually invited the Ravnos to Elysium. I figured, what the hell? I should see what's going on.
He might be very progressive.
Not a chance in hell.
Hmm.
His court is made up of a Lasambra, a Tremere who carries the blood rights to a gargoyle.
I thought those slavers were gone.
So did I. Apparently he got very upset when I called him out on this bullshit to his face. And claims to have been sent by Villon himself.
Yeah, I heard talk of that.
Well,
News tend to die where I was. But the grumble of a lot of Sabbat that we've encountered, or ex-Sabbat, sect alliance allegiances are murky in the desert. They bemoan the loss of Montreal, but they all said one thing in common. They couldn't agree on how it ended, but they all agreed that Paris had taken over. So I think that little part is true.
well, possibly. But I don't know that this is the little agent that Paris would have sent. He comes into an Elysium, announces his presence, and then immediately says that the western half of this island belongs to the Anarchs.
A bold move. How many Anarchs are there here?
Between 20 and 30. I mean, I don't have the accurate number. She does.
The accurate number that you would probably give him is 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so it's whoever's here.
It's yeah, so count on top of those Anarchs, maybe add like 2 like that didn't show up necessarily.
Okay.
You could
You're right.
probably add so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, Vargas is dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you could also probably count like those who you saw hang out with the Anarch, like Melvin.
Yeah, so
but it's like it's a
Melvin and
half
then-
dozen.
Okay, so like she would say a half dozen then. All right.
And he gave them. He pulls up his cell phone and looks at a map of Montreal. And he gave them half the island. What is he so
Yep.
afraid of?
This is where things get interesting. A Tremere violates Elysium. Not that anyone actually knows that. Officially. uses his little blood rights to show what is unseen. And then he gifts this ability to Rajul. And instead of the little princeling, it's her.
As far as I'm concerned, the rule of not using any powers in Elysium applied only to those they didn't like.
Yeah, but I was halfway out the window at the time, so it didn't matter to me. I didn't care.
Sorry. And this warlock is trustable because...
He didn't try and kill me when I had threatened him. After I killed his public child. Not actually his child, but the Venture decided that the circulatory system needed to make a presence in this country and in this city. And a certain fallen member of the Camarilla decided that included the importation of children from Miami. I removed the problem. That was not gift basket number 3, by the way.
Good, because that was despicable. If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
she didn't taste all that great.
No, not really. But,
How many people do you know are loyal to this prince?
I can name officially 3. There are 4 more who play at loyalty. I can't guarantee it. Rajul informed the Archons, Toreador Archons at that, a dragon was riding their prince. So there are 2 Toreador Archons walking around this city. And then there's a gangrel mutt of an Archon. Simmons.
You
Bounty
notice...
hunter.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Bounty
You-
hunter and not that good, is what she would say.
Okay. You notice Casimir becomes visibly... stressed, nervous, visibly nervous at the at the mention of Archons. You do you know of their movement? Because I can't.
Yes. They decided to ask questions of me.
I can't really
It
show
was-
my face in a place where Archons are.
Tata, I'm not stupid.
No, you're not. But they're combing the island. Which means I can't
Yes,
stay for
but
long.
not-
Someone
but
like
they're-
me leaves traces behind.
Well,
Who would you say
Given the
is the
fact that there's-
eldest on this island? Right now.
the eldest is currently under this island?
I mean, as part of us.
Well, that would be complicated. An anarch.
Because if I'm to stay here, at some point,
Well,
they'll realize that...
also maybe Caleb Dumois. Caleb Dumois.
Duval.
Duval, sorry, that was me. Caleb Duval. I don't have it in front of me.
It's okay.
And Simone, 14, are probably your oldest still living. Unliving. There's a house that's actively eating people, including Alessandra.
Yeah, I don't get any sustenance from plywood.
I didn't think so. Also, there's a whole bunch of whites in the sewer system.
But... your island seems to look a lot like where I am.
I would like to point out, it's not my island. You're the one that said I should come here. Looking for your friend, which, by the way, I found one of her childer hanging around here who had no clue what the fuck was going on.
Huh. Well,
Or actually, Jordani's friend. Sorry, technically. Bad.
then I know who you're talking about.
He's not bad. Just
It's still
Sheltered.
important to us. That should be found.
well,
It's I'm not going to put undue pressure on you, my child, but it's becoming time sensitive.
great.
But if you have an
I have a beginning of an idea. Mostly involves going under the city and tracing down a whole bunch of ancient Sabbat temples. Thanks, dear.
we kind of had to do the same thing in Wadi Salam.
Why are we doing this?
Wadi Al
Besides-
Salam, sorry. You said there was something under the city.
Yes. And Prax suddenly forgot the term. What happened at four elements? Magic, creepiness.
Yeah.
Prax forgot the term for what happened at the end of last session for Artie.
Voldunic sorcery.
Okay, you mean the
Thank you.
Does she
yeah.
know that?
Yeah, because this is a secret of the Simichi, so if Artie didn't say it out loud what it was, it's just
We talked. You
Weird
mentioned
shenanigans.
something. You
We
mentioned
talked
something
about-
else.
I mentioned miracles.
Yeah, you
I
mentioned.
didn't say
omens.
I didn't omens
No.
and miracles. I did not mention cultists
Yeah.
to you.
I was like, it was Prax asking for the term to
Mhm.
discuss. Like, she will say that that there are apparently a bunch of omens, probably an old one under the city that I don't need to meet. Whites are under the city. I
Yeah.
know where the treasure hoard is and how to get in.
it's not a question of
doesn't-
treasure.
No, but that's the entrance that is most likely to lead to where she was last seen. The problem is
Hmm.
it's directly across from the current home of the Inquisition, Tata. It's not like I'm wasting time here. I'm just being
No.
careful.
I'm not, like I said, no undue pressure. When Zalmadi and
There is
I...
there is a raised eyebrow look at that of just like, mm-hmm.
No, it's more
Yes.
of a, I'm going to say it, but you know there's pressure.
Oh yeah, and her response is, yeah, you keep saying that. Why don't you just say what you actually mean?
But he goes on to explain that under the Valley of Peace in Iraq, so for those who don't know, the Valley of Peace is like the biggest graveyard in the world.
Yes.
There's so real life, cool. World of Darkness, there's an underground city under that place. And it's just running with vampires. But he's also been seeing an increasing number of whites in there.
So the Sabbat are hanging around. Great. Okay.
I don't know if it's the Sabbat. Well, his theory, to like paraphrase what he goes on to explain, he has many theories. So far, he thinks that the problem with the white is due to a lack of sustenance. If you're under the biggest cemetery in the world, there's not a whole lot of things you can feed on. You have to go out. You have to go into the closest city, which is Najaf. Is it pronounced Al Najaf? Yeah, Najaf. But the issue is that city, kind of like Montreal, sort of a hotbed of hunters. So it gets harder and harder. And so the Sabbat vampires that live under the Valley of Peace have resorted to cannibalism. Not diablerie, just, you know, drinking from each other. Because, you know, it's blood bond anyway, so why not do it? But that's not normally what causes whites. So there's got to be something else. And he says it feels like there is a primordial hunger. And I haven't felt it since I landed here. But it feels like the longer you are there, and not just the Valley of the Dead, like the entire region around, up to most of Baghdad as well, you get hungry. Like you will feed, and you will, you know, do things to make sure you are no longer hungry. And yet you still feel hungry. There's a legend in the Middle East about a being called Ur-Shulgi. Ur-Shulgi is a Banu Hakim, well known of Zalmadi, because he is more or less at the head of the clan now. And Ur-Shulgi is a strange kind of vampire. He goes against what the Banu Hakim have. To make a long story short, he broke the clan apart. No one's quite sure what to think now, because thinking can get you killed.
Why is Almadi staying?
None of us can leave our clans. It's in our blood. So there is nothing that he can do to not be a Banu Hakim. But there's a lot he can do to not go face to face with his eldest.
Yes, perhaps leaving the area.
Oh, he's Ur-Shulgi out of game. He would have told you where it is. I am trying. He's not in Iraq. He's where's that fortress again? No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Anyways, he's not in Iraq. Okay.
No. That's it. He's near, but I think he's in Iran.
So over the border.
Yeah. I can tell you right now. It is in South Caspian province in Iran. Yes, just south of the Caspian Sea.
Yeah.
The place known as Alamut.
Yeah.
However, the thing is before Ur-Shulgi awoke, there's a lot of Banu Hakim who felt a strange hunger in their blood, which, after spending extensive time with Zalmadi, I have come to believe that it is
similar to the fire. And you felt it when Aziz died. I know you did because I did.
It's why yes, I did. So, we have to find the eldest that is here. We have to encourage other things that are going on. Is there anything else you need from me,
No,
Tata?
you do not want to find the eldest that is here. You want to make sure it never awakens, and if need be, burn the island to the ground. And you see there's like the Nom flashback glaze over his eyes. And he pauses for a while. And he says, but Mehmet. Brings it back to this. I have my suspicion that Mehmet might be behind Aziz's destruction. And I have my reasons to believe that you are next. I don't know if he's going after me, or if he was going after you. Because he would know that Aziz's destruction, that you would be made aware of his destruction wherever you are.
He likes to torture people, and admittedly, I have been liberating a large amount of his private property for the past 38 years.
Well.
And this is why I think Vion would never trust an infant. I can't even see that this little princeling is past the Agoge.
I'm going to have to introduce myself to him. Follow the laws of the land, you know. Pretend I'm a good little citizen. I want to see this princeling.
You mean that I have to introduce you?
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to do it myself, of course.
Tata, she's in the room.
Well, then she will know we're not afraid.
Fine.
And as far as I'm concerned, she knows I'm not scared of her.
This is true.
And I want to remind her that she should be scared of me. And that whatever she's been doing in the new world is only because I decided not to go after her. I or Jardani, for that matter. You don't go after the family and expect things to be swept under the rug. I want to see this princeling because the more you talk about him, the more I feel that something doesn't add up. And I doubt,
To be honest,
that she would have convorted with the Ventru.
no. My bet is that she took a messenger and sold him to the locals as the prince that Vion sent. And instead, Vion's prince that he sent isn't here yet.
Then
I tried to get a message to see if this actually is the individual that Vion set, but we'll see if it happens or not.
Who did you send your message to?
Individuals in Paris.
Well, trust that international mail does its job and it actually reaches us back in a timely manner. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to, well, mostly you are going to have to take charge of this investigation. I
Do you want to be?
have another bad news.
And she'll like put both hands out on the table and just open them, as if to say, "Please lay your cares upon them."
I want to be introduced to the prince, but after that I am going to have to leave.
That is not a surprise. I was surprised you were going to stay so long.
I didn't think it would be this strong, but even after a mere few hours, I already feel the call to go back.
He's dead. How does this work?
That's what I don't get. It's not a call to go back to him, because he's gone. I can't even see him when I'm in day sleep. I can't even feel him in the back of my mind. I remember the fire, I can see the fire. Sometimes I can feel it. But I've been in Iraq for months. And I didn't feel the need to go anywhere specifically. It's just now, being in America, I feel like I must go back. Like every second counts, and I know it's not true. I don't know what happened to my sire, and I hope we find Jardani as soon as possible.
Well, I didn't burn, so probably he's still alive and kicking.
Neither have
Hopefully,
I.
everyone's ass.
There's just... If this is the beckoning that they talk about, if this is the beckoning, there's... I don't know, there's a lack of mysticism. It just feels like I'm homesick. Not that I need to bury myself in a hole under the sand.
Okay. And she would like reach across the table and like rest her hand on his wrist and look at him dead and go, "What home?"
That's the thing. I know that this feeling is wrong. But I can't help it. You know, mortals would say, "You'll understand when you're older," but that's not how we work. And I hope you never get to understand it. Because right now, all I want to do is leave this RV, take a plane, and go back. And I know I've got enough willpower to... and just self-control to not do that. But I don't know what's going to happen to me if I stay here too long.
Fine.
You know, there's homesickness, but there's a threat? I don't know how to explain it. But you said you had elders here, so clearly they probably know. They probably feel something.
Well, they're still hanging around here and they don't leave. So there's that.
Well, not as everyone is as old as your old man.
Yes, I know. You're so old. You're positively antediluvian.
We try to avoid that word in the Middle East. It brings back memories.
Yes, well, and she'll like get up and shake out her skirts, look him up and down. It's like, well, at least your size hasn't changed, and go back to the spare bedroom, not the actual bedroom, but the spare bedroom, and pull open the closet and pull out 2 suit bags. And she goes, "Are we going intimidating, possibly gun runner, arms dealer, war mogul, or totally glanced over Italian gigolo?"
Wait, how many that was 3 choices, correct?
No, there was 2.
2,
It was
okay.
gun warlord, gun runner, Italian gigolo.
Italian gigolo.
And she'll hand over one of the suit bags.
I mean, he's going to introduce himself to a prince. Of course he's going to go dressed as a...
Yeah, but you never know. You might want to. And then she'll pick up the phone. She'll pick up the phone and text Artie. Sorry, won't be over tonight. Have to go introduce family. You want to show we're going to court.
Thanks
And
for
then-
the invite, but no. Be safe. Do you want me nearby to drive the getaway car?
We might need to... No, I can drive the getaway car. We might need to show up at your place to have a different conversation. And
Well,
then
I'll get prepared. And somehow he has managed to find this Molotov emoji.
Yes. And then she'll send another text to Caleb, or she'll call Caleb.
On which phone?
On the Flory Winters phone, not the family phone, and not the Florica Winters phone. The one that the phone number that he knows, because that's the one he contacted her.
Okay,
on.
good. It doesn't even ring once, like a full ring, and you just hear, yes.
Seneschal Duval, it is a request to introduce an elder to the prince.
I thank you for following protocol. However, I have the regret to announce you that meetings with His Highness have to be taken through proper channels. I can send you the number of, let's say, Secretary 1 Betty Duhamel. And you can hear just a twinge of he's like smiling just a little as he says that.
There's a pause, and then there's another pause, and she leans over, and and she had said this in French, in your own like perfect French, and then in like very formal, almost archaic French, and then in more colloquial slang French, she goes, "Wait, does she have to take dictation? What's her typing speed? Honestly, can she even type with those nails on?"
I will pretend the signal was poor and I could not hear what you said.
Thank you for your information, dear Seneschal. We are sure to follow appropriate protocols. Click. Tata.
and
he doesn't even have a herald. He only has a secretary.
as a text message, you will receive her number. Well, her number. You will receive a number.
Mm-hmm. She will dial it and she'll have it on speakerphone because she has to savor this.
It rings once, twice, thrice. Well, almost 4 times, and then it picks up. Hello? Who is this? This is a private number, you know.
Secretary Dumal, it is my pleasure to request an immediate audience with His Honor the Prince. I must introduce my elder at the court.
I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. You are?
Flory Winters.
Flory Winters. Yes. It's the Roma. Yes. I know who you are. Let me see. Mr. Highness Sir Hilkers is a tad busy lately, you know, with all of his.
But as this is on speaker,
Mhm.
the minute she starts talking and she calls Flory Roma, which not cool, not inaccurate, but not cool, and she'll hit click on record.
I think I can fit you in rather early. You understand that introducing an elder is quite the honor among the Ivory Tower, and I would like for you to meet His Highness. Well, you and your elder to meet His Highness as soon as possible, given his availabilities right now. I would have to say, well, the Elysium on October 31st.
Oh, so you're going to, in that case, Secretary Dumal, inform the archons that are currently in the city that my elder did request immediate introduction, and following all the protocols, and His Princely Highness was unavailable, and therefore we are not in violation of any accords that may exist.
As a herald, I will be more than happy to do my job and to make sure that everyone who is part of the Ivory Tower knows that for once the Ravnos decided to follow protocol. I'm sure it will be very well received.
Bonne nuit, secrétaire. And she'll hang up the phone.
Casimir, when you hang up, just goes, "What a bitch."
I offered to kill her for free and they turned me down.
Well, when you think about it, she makes for a nice target.
I feel like I should point out that she is a woman of substantial size and therefore is a nice target on so many levels.
No, what I mean is...
Yes, I know what you meant, but it was also there.
The first moment your prince makes a mistake, she will fall. I hope she knows that.
I warned her twice. It's no longer my problem.
Well.
I will introduce you to Rajul, and he
Ivory
can
Tower.
inform you about his...
Yes, I would like to meet the son of the she-devil. Sorry, son.
You paid?
Child. Everyone says child.
Yeah, child. Everyone says child. He pays well. And on time.
As organized crime tends to do.
Got it in one. And she will, it's like, well, I don't, come along. And she'll call, pick up the phone and with the phone still on speaker, call Artie.
You're on speaker as he's just like got a bunch of bottles and is just carefully using a funnel and pouring gasoline in each one of them.
Rajul, I'm bringing my
Mhm.
family to introduce to you.
Oh,
Oh,
right now?
yes. Apparently, Secretary Dumal was not able to fit us in tonight.
I don't know how to feel about that one. Part of me, I almost feel pity. At least I think that's pity. Can
She
you
kept
get in?
stressing that she's actually a herald.
Well, I mean, if that's what she's telling herself to soothe her ego, by all means, everyone's got to find a way to cope.
Yes, but when it was officially informed of me in this manner that her title is mere secretary by the seneschal, I think it might be hubris that will end up with her dead.
Well, she's been warned multiple times. See, this is one of the things that I still don't get. Everyone says that the Sabbat's so violent, but when there was disagreements, then it was just honor duels, not usually to the death, usually the first blood. But when someone fucks up in the tower, they get decapitated, staked, drawn and quartered, left out in the sun. Honestly, it's the tower that are the violent ones.
Anyways, I will come family introductions. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Ah, crap. I gotta put all this away.
Ring ring, Mr. Arthur Porter. Not to your door. From an
Okay,
unknown caller.
It's just one of those days.
It's a text-to-speech.
Okay. Listening.
I can have your mortal, I know where he is. Transfer half the money right now and you have him by sundown tomorrow night.
I need proof of life.
If I give you proof of life, you will know where he is and you'll go get him and I won't get the reward.
No, we both know there are ways for proof of life. Put him on the phone.
Oh, I am not the captor. I'm the rescuer.
All right. Rescuer. If you've got eyes on the target, and the fact that you said mortal means you don't necessarily understand my current position. And that current position is that I'm trying to leave this in mortal hands for a little less than 24 hours.
See. Now, the problem is I have reason to go after those who took your friend.
Oh. Well, here's the deal then. I will make you a special one-time offer. I will wire you 500,000 if you bring me him in one piece and the bits and pieces of those who took him. I will finish up with 199.5 million. Does that sound good?
Simon needs to think a second. Yeah, without hesitation, you say deal.
Good. where am I wiring your retainer fee?
Hmm.
And in what currency?
There's this neat little thing now called Bitcoin.
So very unstable. Despise the stuff. But if
So
you
very
insist-
untraceable.
All right. Well,
Otherwise, and he sends you information. It's an account number. He wants it in USD, not in Canadian. And if you run a quick check, the account number leads to a like a numbered company in the Cayman Islands. They do stuff apparently.
I know a shell company when I see one.
Oh yeah, and it's very much a shell.
Oh, come on! I'm a professional money launderer.
Yeah.
This is like okay.
Yeah.
This is
it's-
Monday paperwork. Okay,
Exactly.
we can send 50.
The
And we'll
moment
use one of my shell companies to dump into that shell company. There we go.
the moment you send the money, the phone call doesn't hang up. You just hear the sound of a door crash. Someone try to say what the fuck, and then the sound of like a fountain? And we're gonna end tonight's game on that. So Trooper was right. We didn't get to the reveal yet. But that's also because I can't skip too long tonight. Can't go over too long tonight. So next week we have a lot of people meeting a lot of people. And an NPC getting a lot of money.
But which NPC? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, text to speech. You no clue.
No. Hey, I respect the game. Like, if they deliver, by all means, the word of mouth will go far. I know plenty of people who need wet work. And I always enjoy professionalism. However, if they cross me, this is going to be one bad night.
Yep. Sorry. Feels good to be back. Hey, by the way, thank you everyone who showed up. Thank you, boys, games in chat, by the way. Tyler, we saw the other half of your interview during break today. So now Rick
It was awesome.
has been interviewed by the Archons. For better or worse. Thank you to all the people who came and rated. Thank you to Queen's Court Games, to So Maddie's Games, to KY Hawkeye, and thank you for all the follows. Thank you for the subs and just the fun time in chat. Thank you, players, for taking time off your Monday evenings to come play in this chronicle about vampire. And I will leave it to you, my friends, to let me know, or let everyone know, what did you enjoy tonight, and where we can find you, what you have going on. We'll, since we didn't do a lot of scenes with Dixon, we'll start with Dixon for the outro. Which,
Hello.
of course, again, you know, rules of the server, you have to show your face in all various angles to the camera before doing your outro, you know?
See, I just did it. Hey, everybody. It is I, Tribris JP, and I have been playing Dixon. It is such a lovely... I will start with my love first. What a lovely time. I really enjoyed it. I love my fellow players, and I love getting to learn more about them and their histories and backgrounds, and that was just... I had such a great time. I really appreciated sort of seeing different ways in which both Artie and Flory maneuver around the world, seeing how Artie thinks of Ralphie as his friend, and Wrighton thinks of the rest of vampire kind as not being humane enough, while also not really having any problem with like hiring hitmen to murder people. You know, it's just like it's a nice thing. Also, Artie's, you know, threatening to become the bad Artie. I think that's really fascinating. And I do wonder how his other Artie self is hanging out and doing it. It's like, so interesting. That said, then of course, Florrie, I always am so tickled by Florrie's assessment of the things that happen in Montreal and the people in it, from Simmons' incompetence to the prince being like barely old enough to shave, right? Like to see like her sort of sense of the world is like, it's like both of them. I learn a lot by watching how they see the world around them. Also, we got to see her sire. That's very exciting. That's very cool. I imagine her sire is going to find out what Dixon is looking for well before Dixon will be able to find out. So that's really interesting too. And I'll be interested to see what will happen when Florrie's sire finds out what it is that Dixon is stalking. So I'm interested to see how that all goes. And I want to give also love to our GM for not all GMs are secure enough, right, in the players they have to let things unfold as they will in a natural way. And I really appreciate Simon for letting things unfold as they would, right? Like, and not pushing or rushing or compressing, but like letting things breathe. I think that is really cool. And not a lot of GMs feel secure enough in the relationships between everybody at the table to do that. And it makes me feel really great. Let me see. So you can find me, today is Monday. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern over on my channel, Trooper SJP, you can find me GMing Motor City Hollow Crown, my Vampire the Masquerade non-canon miniseries 8-shot set in Detroit, 1973. All non-canon all the time. Then you can find me on Friday, 7 p.m. on my channel for The Gamblers, which is a Traveler Pirates of Drynix campaign, and that is having its season finale on Friday. So if you want to go and hang out and see some RP, and like the end of the season is always like the beginning of the next season in some ways, so that's a good spot. And then of course on Sunday at 8 p.m. over at Praxagor, this Meporius channel, you can find me over on Carousel Court, and that is where you can find me.
Shit, I forgot. Thank you for coming, Trooper. I forgot last night when I what? Well, we'll do Florrie's outro, but what year are we at in Carousel now?
We will be going to 1962.
62. Nice.
Yep, we finished.
We just finished
1958.
58.
Yeah. But Florrie, you're up.
Just answering a thing. Sorry.
No problem.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, my wonderful players. Thank you for putting up with apparently being Florrie night, and fun times, and all of that good stuff. I have been your Florrie today, at Dirgedonnen on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Miaphoria, as you see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax the Bard over on Instagram and Hive, and soon other platforms, hopefully. But I loved every minute of this tonight. I loved Trooper having a conversation with a white in the dark, telepathically. Usually when you know, it'll be very interesting. I can't wait for that. I thought that was a beautiful moment, and I feel for Dixon wanting to help this poor lost soul without realizing how lost Dixon's soul really is at this moment at Humanity 3.
He's feeling pretty fine.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
that's
not
the thing,
concerned at all.
He's not bothered.
He ain't bothered. I mean, that's the thing. When you're at Humanity 3, you aren't bothered. He's feeling pretty fine. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling more myself than I've been for like a long time.
Yep, I can't wait to see what happens with that. I loved the interplay of Artie being like, well, shit, who wants to talk to me now? Oh, okay, you want to find out about this? I've put a bounty out. Okay, well, look, we're waiting on this because of these reasons. And it makes sense, and I love every minute of it. I also love the fact that Florrie called and said, hi, I'm bringing my elder to court, and Artie's immediate response is, well, I need more Molotov cocktails. I'm like, I mean, that's fair. We're bringing Ravnos to court to introduce them, and Molotovs to the appropriate response. I appreciate that. Also, I loved Simon showing off that relationship between Casimir and Florrie, and I thought that it was a beautiful way to go about showing how, honestly, like, they're a family of assassins and murderers and spies, but they have heart, and it's all about family, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a very strange and interesting dynamic, which I really appreciate. And I can't wait to see what happens next week, because I'm sure it'll be great and fine, and absolutely nothing will go wrong whatsoever. Also, Florrie will only call until a higher authority officially gives Betty the title of Herald in her presence. Betty's title is just secretary. I'm sorry. That will be a thing now.
Look,
Wait, it's October 25th? It's October 25th?
Yes.
Hold on, I have to check something.
It's a Saturday, if that matters.
No, it's... Aw, damn, it's not the right date. It's too far away. Never mind. Look, Florrie is entirely the person who would have sent an administrative professional's Happy Secretary's Day card to Betty. Just to do that. But that's not until April, so.
And well, thank you for.
Wait! I have to say where
that's true. Yes, my bad.
You keep rushing me.
Sorry.
Anyways, you can find me over on my channel, Praxagora Thesmophoria, for Carousel Court. We are finishing Arc 1 this coming on Sunday with 1962. Drama has begun. Things are moving. Yes, I know it's my fault because I pause and I allow things to breathe. Drama is coming. People have made moves. And other people got arrested last week. So, things are going to be interesting. Come hang out. And other than that, check my Twitter, because I was posted where I'm going to be, and the fun, wonderful, fabulous folks I get to hang out with, like these fine people right here. Bye-bye.
Now we'll say thank you for being here. And last but not least, Arthur.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the socials, Pope World Build on the Twitch. It's been so much fun tonight. Finally seeing that shoe drop and getting to see the relationship and the family side of Florrie. And then Dixon in the dark with the light. Like, a lot of my love is just matched with concern this evening. Because, disrespecting Betty before going in to make the introductions, and apparently the introductions are going to be on Halloween, because that's not going to go pear-shaped. And Dixon's got plans. And I don't know where that's going. And then Simon playing Ding Dong Hello with poor Artie, as we had multiple offers from Supernaturals to go and collect this bounty. But yeah, no, it's just like, okay, it's one thing for you to come to my door. It's another thing where it's like, I'm gonna go in. And okay, I want to make sure that Ralphie doesn't get killed. I will try and finagle this as best I can. We'll see if things turn out well or even worse next week. But before this, you can catch, again, this silly face over on Practical Earth Thesmophoria for more Carousel Court, where I get to be more evil? Question mark? As opposed to, a blood-sucking capitalist. I get to, curse people's homes and perform acts of dark miracles in order to perform said curses. So, yeah, if you like seeing me having an excuse to be the heavy that I want to be, tune in then. And thank you all so much for being here and sharing this with us. Where live VOD YouTube, a story is nothing without its audience. You are much part of this as we are. Take care of yourselves, one another. Tell the folks you care about you love them, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you again, everyone, for being here. You can find me later this week, probably on Thursday again, but I might just squeeze in some on Wednesday. Road to Baldur's Gate, where the Sticky Finger Sisters are going to continue their crime spree across the Sword Coast. We are now at 5 murders. And we are unsure as to whether we should be called serial killers or mass murderers. But all that I know is that it always was done in self-defense and that everyone at inns that don't have bouncers are evil.
Is it the lack of a bouncer that makes them evil?
Well, oddly enough, in the way it is in the game, you get accosted in like every inn by someone who wants to punch you in the face or wants you dead. Except that one tavern that has bouncer also does not have NPCs that want to punch you in the face or want you dead.
I think that Malk is correct about it being a spree killer.
Yeah, it's only been 72 hours, honestly. 5 murders in 72 hours. She is unstoppable. But also I'm using the new voice packs that appeared in BG1, I don't know when, made by the people that worked at Beamdog, and holy shit is the voice that I took for Safia just fucking perfect. But yeah, so we're playing basically all the old Baldur's Gate until Baldur's Gate 3 comes out at the end of the month. And we chat and we reminisce about how freaking old we are and the games that we used to play way back when the Y2K bug was still a thing. So
this is where I would like to point out that there was an article on Sunday or Saturday, excuse me, celebrating the 20th anniversary of KOTOR.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Huh, that's about right. That's about right.
Oh, we also learned in this game that apparently the daily wage of a cop is 174 gold pieces a day.
That's a lot.
Economy is fucked up, and so is my English apparently. So we're gonna leave on that. Have a good night, everyone. Let's see if we can just raid someone real quick at 11:30 at night. Do we still have some friends over? Yes, we do have. Whoa. Twitch, shut up. Yeah, actually, Tracy, Miss Magitech is still up, so let's go and raid. And you might see me over on her channel, maybe, perhaps. For a one shot or two, but I don't know yet, so we'll see. Keeping that for the end of the month. All right, everyone, have a good night, and we'll see you again for more Vampire on Monday. Bye bye.